thanks for hanging with us. I want to talk a little bit more about, we've really been getting into the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And I want to talk a little more about that so, I make sure everybody is following along, because if you don't understand these tools, these pieces, this understanding, it's hard to understand how to use the tools to change your life. Well, if you don't understand something, how are you going to accomplish the task? How are you going to accomplish things? So yeah, thanks for being back today. Thanks for hanging with us. Hey, we appreciate all the shares out there on Facebook. We appreciate the follows on YouTube. We really appreciate that. We really encourage that. Tag a friend, share these videos out to somebody that may help. This is about helping and encouraging people. This isn't about beating people up. I'm talking about this stuff from my own experiences. I succeed and develop this stuff all the time, but our war cry is to defeat and overcome. And we have to know who we are. In order for any of this to work, I want you guys to take a moment right now and ask yourself who you are. Who are you? What are you made of? Do you have metal to you? What is your culture in life? What is your culture within you that has helped you overcome trials and storms in your life? What has helped you roll up to the gate at the motocross track and push through? What has helped you get over something that somebody's done bad to you? What has helped you? What is the culture in you that has helped you push through those different things in your life, those different events in your life? Think about that for a second. What has helped you commit to a 75-foot FMX ramp? What has helped you not back out of a freestyle jump? What is it? What is it within you? What is your culture? I bet your culture isn't fear. I bet it's not fear. I mean, we all have fear. We're not born with the spirit of fear. Fear is learned, and 90% of fear is mental. 90% of fear is emotional. There's that other physical fear that, if we see a grizzly bear, we're going to run. We're going to be scared to death and run. But 90% of fear, I hate to even throw out a percentage, but I read it somewhere in one of the psychology books or one of my new psychology magazines. Somewhere it described fear as 90% mental, emotional. So think about that. If it's emotional and mental, why can't we control it? Especially when the good book, the Bible, the Holy Bible, tells us we were not born with the spirit of fear, but we were born with the spirit of power and a sound mind. So if we were born with those things, why do we let fear dominate us? If you want to be the best motocrosser in the world, or best freestyle motocrosser in the world, or have the best marriage, or best relationship, or live life the way it's meant to live, that doesn't mean it's absent from storms. Storms do not judge. Storms do not discriminate. We all have them. We all have different issues we deal with. Nobody is immune from problems. Nobody is immune from their metal getting challenged. Nobody is immune from their culture getting challenged. Nobody is immune for riding up to a big jump and second guessing yourself. Nobody's immune to those things. But everything we're talking about here is how you defeat and overcome. And those struggles that you have shouldn't be something you deal with all the time. We shouldn't live there. But fear will kick your ass. Fear will destroy everything that's good in your life. So getting back to the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, I want to have a better understanding of that. But I go back to my first question. Who are you? What What within you has caused you to deal with, to get through these things in life? What is it? Who are you? Knowing who you are, knowing thyself, know thyself. That is huge. That is huge in your success in doing everything I'm talking about, is knowing who you are. If you don't know who you are, you're just going to blow around in the wind, and fear is going to treat you like fear is going to own you. You're going to be a slave to fear. If you don't know who you are, if you don't know what you stand for, if you don't know what you stand for, you'll fall for anything. You'll have no discernment. You'll have no mettle to you. You definitely don't have a culture to you. How is any of this going to work for you if you don't know who you are? We all have a programming to us. I don't care what your upbringing was. I don't care how bad it was. I don't care what you lacked, what you didn't have, what you did have, how much money you had, how much you didn't have. As we grow, we have our own mind. We need to use it. We need to educate ourselves. We need to challenge everything. Challenge how you think. Challenge why things are the way they are. Challenge what you're thinking about. You don't have to be a victim to your programming. And that's what we're talking about here. You can change your programming. Is it easy? Hell no. Does it just happen overnight? No. But you have to take a stand on your life. You have to know who you are. You have to establish a culture, and you have to work hard at it. Just like you do racing motocross. That is the toughest sport out there. It takes toughness. You have to be tough with this, and you have to be consistent. Begin to make what we're talking about here a habit. That's where your programming will begin to change. What I want to talk about here is the tools for that change. You don't have to be a victim to how you've been the last 20 years of your life. You don't have to be a victim to the last 40 years of your life. Change. Take a stand now. It's not too late. You're not too old. Do this. So, ask yourself who you are. So, we talked yesterday or a couple days ago about the filter right here. This is your conscious mind. This is your subconscious mind where your programming is, okay? Your programming has begun to write itself from the time you were little up until the present moment. That's where your programming has come from. It's come from habitual habits of doing things a certain way. It's come from habitual habits of thinking a certain way. It's come from a habitual habits of your actions. That's where your program has been written. So to rewrite your program, what do we have to do? We have to have new habitual habits. We have to think in new ways. We have to have new actions, and we have to make those things a habit. We have to be consistent at it. That's when our programming will be rewritten. But if you go around not thinking about what you think about, I'm not talking about overthinking stuff. Overthinking stuff is bad. This stuff has to happen quick. You have to identify what's going on in your life. Journal your thoughts. Go to Walmart, buy yourself a notebook, and journal your thoughts. Journal all the struggles you have during the day. What you think about. Maybe what somebody told you in the past. Maybe what you're dealing with in the current moment. Journal that stuff. And then journal how you overcame it, how you defeated and overcame it. Well, that's what we're going to talk about here. How do we defeat and overcome it? So, in our life, our programming was established. That programming can be really high over here on the fear side. It can be full of a lot of insecurity. Could happen when we were little, when we were in junior high. Could be high school. Could be in our young adult life. Our programming could have a lot of bad programming in it. So it could be full of fear. It could be full of guilt and shame. It could be full of weakness and anxiety. You may be stressed all the time. You may really struggle with your weight. You may struggle with how you look. You may struggle with how tall you are or how short you are. Let me tell you something. You're focusing on all the wrong stuff. Beauty isn't about how we look. Your coolness, your culture of cool. You want to be cool? Get your stuff right in your head. Control what you think about. Control what you focus on. That is true beauty. That is success. And these little successes happen moments at a time. It could be minute by minute during the day. Those are successes. They're little victories. They're little, but in order to have a victory, what do you have to have? You have to go to battle. You have to be a warrior and go to battle. You have to engage in battle. If you don't engage in battle, fear will move in. What happens if we throw our hands up in battle? We're overrun, right? We're a victim. We're a slave. We're a prisoner. We're a prisoner. And that's how a lot of us live our life. A lot of us are prisoners. And we're not prisoners to anybody but ourselves, but we have this program in us, this mental videotape in our minds that we're prisoners to what other people have done to us. We're prisoners to how other people define us. Think about how messed up that is. Is that having the spirit of power? No, that's having the spirit of fear dominating your life. That's not how we're made. We're born to win. We program ourselves to lose. Failure, we learn from failure. We need to learn from our mistakes, but we can't dwell in our failures. We have to learn from them and take something away from it and become a better person the next day. But we are born to win. We program ourselves to lose. And if we're an adult, we can't look back on our parents, on our mentors, and blame anybody. Because right now, as you're watching this video, you have the power to change that. You have the power to challenge who you are and ask yourself who you are and what you're about and how you deal with things. Journal it. Nobody needs to know about it but you. That's what these videos are for. These videos aren't to make anybody feel worse, to feel bad. These videos are about truth. These videos are about the tools that we need to get past these things. You want to be the best motocross racer you can, then you need to be really good at this. You want to be the best freestyle motocross guy? You want to be, I don't care what your action sport is. Maybe you're a surfer. Maybe you're into rodeo. Maybe you're into a brand new marriage. You want to be the best at it? Right here. Right here. This is where it's at. I don't care what it is. That's what faith culture is about. Faith culture is a motocross and privateer inspired company. But it's bigger than that. It's about defeating and overcoming that can be carried out into anything in life. So what goes on in our mind, right? And where does it come from? I'm going to start there. Number one, where do these thoughts, right now you're watching this video, you may be focusing on something and not totally hearing me because you're focusing on something else. Where do those thoughts come from? They come from our mind. And a lot of times they'll come up from deep within our subconscious. They'll surface. Or number two, they could come from our five senses. Could be something we seen yesterday. Could be something we heard this morning. It could be something we smelled. It comes through our senses. But it's in our mind, right? So where does the battleground happen at? Where do you got to be a warrior? Where does your warrior skill have to come out? Where do you have to learn to fight and fight for your life, to take a stand on your life? In the conscious mind, not the subconscious, in the conscious mind. The conscious mind's like a gateway to your subconscious mind. Just to make ourselves clear, the conscious mind is where our reasoning is. It's where our logic is. It's where we can think about things. We can overthink things there too. We can think about the wrong things and we can focus on the wrong things. So we must be a master in our conscious mind. That's where we must go to battle. Because not only do we see things in the present through our five senses, I may look at something right now and what does it do? It generates a thought. A thought creates a feeling. But behind every thought, it's wrapped in an emotion. Is that emotion good or bad? Simplify things. It's good or it's bad. You either need the black flag raised on you, or you need the green flag raised on you. And that has to happen quick. And where does it happen? In the conscious mind, because that's where reasoning and logic takes place. Your subconscious doesn't care how much crap you feed it. It doesn't care if you think about bad things every minute of the day. It doesn't care. But what it does is it begins to program who you are. It begins to write the code for your program. And guess what? It grows and it takes root in you and it becomes part of your character. So all of your character flaws, they could be good or bad. You could have tons of insecurity. You could be a very jealous person. Are you jealous when your boyfriend's around other girls? Or are you jealous, dude, when your girlfriend's around other dudes? What, are you jealous when somebody gets a new bike or a new sponsorship? Are you envious when somebody has more likes on social media than you do? Or more views? Those are all forms of insecurity, but behind all those insecurities is fear. So why would you want to entertain fear? Where do you block fear at? Where do you go to battle? Right here. We're talking about the conscious mind, right here where the filter is. My filter's on the ground down there. Right here where this filter is. The conscious mind, that's where the battleground is. The battle is an invisible battle. It's not what somebody can hurt you physically, but that is not where our battle is. Our battle is right here in our mind. And we go to battle in the conscious mind, right here where the faith culture is. By the way, if anybody wants a faith culture sticker for their helmet, direct messages. Tell us what color you want. Tell us what your address is. Send us a little note on direct message. I don't care whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. The battle is in the conscious mind, which is right here on the front part of your brain. That's where the battleground is. If you don't get this right, if you don't get this part, the rest of it ain't going to work for you. So we have to go to battle here. So right now, let's pretend right now a bad thought popped into your mind. Maybe it was something from the past. Okay, I want to tell you, you better take control of this situation very quickly. I mean within seconds. If you let it go more than 5 seconds, you let it go for 10 seconds, you're in trouble. It's like racing your motocross bike. When you see somebody give you a front tire, you see that front tire come up on you, you better act. If that gate drops, you better react to it. That's the way our life is. If you're approaching a freestyle ramp, you better engage and stay committed. That's the way our mind works. So right now, think about what you're thinking about. Is a bad thought? Is something weighing heavy on you? Are you worried about something? What are you doing about it? If you're not engaging in battle within seconds, if you're not reacting within seconds and doing something about it, it's going to take root in you. And guess where it's going to take root in you? In your subconscious mind. This is the battleground. But we could also just see something a minute ago that can generate thoughts. And a thought is wrapped in an emotion, right? That creates feelings. Is it good or is it bad? This good and bad business, this black flag, green flag, it better happen quick. It better not be, well, I'll think about it tonight. No, I'm talking within seconds. That's how you become successful at this. That's how you have victories in your life. It isn't from pussyfooting around. It's about getting after it, man. It's about getting after it. Get into it. Send it. Go big. This needs to happen quick. It needs full commitment. It needs lowering your shoulder and go into it with head to head very quickly. When the bad thought pops in your mind, it better be catching right here in this filter. You better not be letting it down into your subconscious mind, or you're in trouble. And if that keeps happening, then fear begins to move in. So your conscious mind right now, you're thinking about a thought, could be a good thought. Hey, everything's good, right? So how you handle your situation right here in your conscious mind is going to dictate which part of the fork you go down. So if you have a bad thought in your mind right now, and you just keep focusing on it, you're going to get sent down this fork right here. Because that's how you respond to it. If you respond to the bad thought right now, that maybe you pull up on the line and there's a girl or a guy next to you. Maybe she's in better shape than you, or maybe he is in better shape. And you start thinking about that, all of a sudden now you have thoughts of, I'm not good enough. Life sucks. I can't do this. I'm not good enough. I'm not skinny enough. I'm not pretty enough. I don't have a new enough bike, okay? That all happens right here. Those are your power thoughts. Those are your affirmations. I talk about have positive thoughts, but have power thoughts that are backed with substance. So if your power thought is, I'm not good enough, I shouldn't be here, I'm not fast enough, then that response in your conscious mind sends you up this fork. And what is the result of that? The result of that is struggle. The result of that is you're a prisoner. The result of that is fear moves in. The result of that is now you're a prisoner to fear. There's nothing cool about that. There's nothing sexy about that or beautiful about that. Now, do we all struggle with it? Yes. But we need to have more successes than we do losses. We can't let this overcome our life. So a thought comes in, a thought pops in your head right now, and you're victorious. You roll up to the gate, and there's some dude with brand new equipment and that sponsorship you wanted. Okay? That thought pops in your mind, kind of dings you a little bit. The guy's getting ready to walk out there with the board. Your guy at the gate's getting ready to drop. But you have a power thought. Where does it happen? It happens in our conscious mind. Because we caught it. We hold every thought captive. What does captive mean? Captive means you take control over it, right? Captive means you hold it, you take control over it. You own it, man. You own it. You don't let that thought take over you. So you have that thought pop in your mind, the gate's about ready to drop, you have a power thought, right? How quick does this have to happen? Right, very quick. It's quick, it's super quick. It cannot go, you cannot think about it, and overthink it, you're already in trouble. You're already beat. This has to happen quick. And this quickness happens all day long. Thought by thought, this happens all day long. It's really quick. You know, red flag or green flag, black flag. Green flag, black flag. Black flag, this ain't going in me. Remind yourself who you are and what you're made of. So you have a power thought. You have a power thought like, you know what, man, life rocks. I'm out here doing what I want to do. Things are going to work out for me. I can do this. That's a power thought. It's an affirmation. Guess what happens as a result of having that thought in your conscious mind? It sends you down this fork because your response was, I can do this. It was not, I can't do this. I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not slim enough. I'm not tall enough. I'm not short enough. That's fear-based, right here. Fear-based. It'll send you down this path. You just wrote the code for your programming. Okay? Over here, you had a power thought. It was a positive affirmation. It sent you down this path. That's how you responded. And it generated happiness. It generated you're at peace. Your anxiety went away. You got calm. Your belief system came back in. Your trust came back in. All of a sudden now, you have faith and you're acting on it. You have a life full of, you're in control, you're confident, you're honest, you're strong, you're in control of the situation. You see how that works? Where is it all happening again? The conscious mind. The subconscious doesn't care. But again, these crazy thoughts, right? We can be crazy. We could be, oh man, we can get crazy sometimes. I know I can. I know I have. Our mind is so powerful. We can dream up visions that almost seem real. If we don't get in control of that right here, where this filter is, our conscious mind, we're in trouble. We're moving over here and we're writing some new programming. That same programming that you've written since you were little or through different events in your life, how you handle situations. Probably how you're handling situations now, more than likely, is probably how you handled situations in junior high, high school, and when you were young. Unless you had a mentor, or unless you began to read the Bible and become spiritual, or unless you began to find wisdom somewhere and challenge your own thinking. Your thinking is probably the same right now as you're watching this as it was when you're younger? Ask yourself, journal it. Were you successful or did you lose? Change it. Here's your opportunity. You're never too old. Your time is now. Live the life. Race the way you want. Find the flow you want. So you see, something happens. The battleground is in our conscious mind. This programming, if we do this enough, I said yesterday, or the last video, think about the things that you do naturally. You breathe. Your body has healing. Your body heals itself. Where does that happen at? The subconscious. The subconscious is where all the wonderful, all the greatness occurs, where things happen naturally, unconsciously. We find the flow unconsciously. We don't overthink things. We just go jump it. Because those things are behind us. Because we have programmed ourselves. We've responded in a way positive. And we've set ourselves up this fork so many times, that it wrote the code for our life, which resides in the subconscious. So we go out there and do those things on our bike or whatever action sport you're in. And it's easy because we don't have to think about it. Think about, right now, think about all the things that you do naturally and don't think about. The way you kickstart your bike, maybe the way you put it in gear, maybe the way you let your clutch out. Think about when you first learned to ride, how you really had to think about letting your clutch out. But it happens naturally, right? Well, why wouldn't you want all the goodness in this world to happen naturally? Well, you have to program that. The reason that you learned how to ride your bike naturally and let the clutch out, and unconsciously, think how many times you did it. You mastered it, right? Well, that's the way we can change our program with other things in life. Maybe it's insecurity. Maybe it's jealousy. Maybe it's envy. You have to begin to write the program on new program on your life and walk by that mirror before you get in the shower when you're looking at yourself naked and love who you are. You have to walk through the mall amongst people and love who you are. You have to walk through the pits and love who you are. Begin to admire who you are and speak positive, powerful affirmations over yourself. Not defeating ones. Not, I can't do this. I'm not good enough. But life rocks. I can do this. Believe in yourself. So I hope this is beginning to make sense. Again, that's what faith culture is about. It's about knowing thyself. We make motocross and privateer inspired clothing, but it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. It's about staying in the race of life. It's about lowering your shoulder, lowering the boom on fear. It's about ascending it, going big, staying committed, not overthinking things. Quit being a people pleaser. Quit it. Quit trying to strive for perfection. That stuff sucks. Go out there and be the best you can be, and wake up tomorrow and be the best you can be. Encourage yourself. Encourage others. But in order to do that, we have to know how to think. The subconscious and the conscious mind. The battle happens in the conscious mind. Right now, what are you thinking about? What are you focusing on? If it's bad, the black flag ought to go up, and you better be shifting gears quick, man. Don't wait around.